Hey guys, so last night I attended the LA world premiere of Avengers Endgame. I knew I wasn't ready, and I've got to tell you, I definitely wasn't ready. I had so many feelings. I cried like a baby so many times to the point where I was shaking my whole row of seats, and my friends were like, calm down. And I was like, I can't. I laughed so hard that I started crying tears because everything was so funny. And I just had so many feelings, you guys. I laughed, I cried, I cheered. There were moments I clapped, I cheered. I mean, when you're at a premiere, it's different because everyone is cheering, like, and I know it happens in a lot of theaters too, especially with something like a Marvel movie, but it was just such an amazing film. It perfectly wrapped up the MCU, or I should say this phase of the MCU, and it truly felt like the end of an era. And yeah, here is my spoiler-free review for Avengers Endgame. I'm Tessa with mamasgeeky.com. Okay guys, so what we have seen in the trailers will not prepare you for what we are about to see. Everything was in probably the first 30 minutes or so of the movie. There was one part that we've seen in first looks or trailers. I forget what it was in, but that was way towards the end. There was one or two things, but pretty much this it's such a wild ride from beginning to end. The beginning is a build up. Okay, it's not a lot of action. The end is total action. The movie itself was just so phenomenal. It was everything I could have ever wanted. And like I said, I think it wrapped up everything perfectly. It tied in all of the other movies, which was just phenomenal. And I love how they did it. As soon as it ended, I was like, I want to see this movie again. I want to see it again so bad. There were moments where my heart jumped. There were moments where I got chills. Again, with the crying, you guys, I'm super emotional anyway, but I cried at least 10 times, at least 10. And I sobbed, sobbed 2 or 3 times. I mean, I'm going to have a spoiler review for you guys soon, probably Monday. And I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to cry during it. It was just such an emotional ride. I loved Thor. Thor was one of my favorite characters in this. You guys, Thor was incredible in this movie. Ant-Man is great in this movie. Of course, Iron Man is great in this movie. Cap is fantastic in this movie. I loved all of the character arcs and seeing where these characters, I don't want to say ended, but where they went. I adored Jeremy Renner in this movie. He was great. Just everyone was so good. Scarlett Johansson was fantastic. Rocket was great. He had so many one-liners, which I really loved. There was a lot of great moments with him. I mean, the whole movie, I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, guys, so it's really hard, but I will just say from beginning to end, I was enamored. I was into it, and it did not feel like a 3-hour movie. And when it ended, it felt final. I will say there was no end credit scenes. There were no end credit scenes, which made it feel more final. And that was, oh God, I don't want to cry. This is crazy. I was like, wow, this is like the end of an era. 11 years I have spent with these characters that I have read since I was 8 years old. And first of all, I saw them come to life on the big screen, which was amazing. And then for them to just go through this journey over the last 11 years and see where all of their journeys have brought them to, pure perfection, guys. Absolute pure perfection. I was just absolutely blown away by this. I think the Russos did an amazing job. Of course, Kevin Feige, he's brilliant, It was like when he was making all these other movies, he had plans all along to tie them all together like this. There was many emotional moments of pure joy and of pure heartbreak, and just of worrying for your favorite characters, and just being happy for your favorite characters, being sad for your favorite characters. It's just there was so much going on. I will say the first half is a lot of, like I said, a lot of build-up. So you got to pay attention. You really should pay attention to the story and where it's going. There's hints for certain things along the way. There's a couple of nods for comic book characters, or comic book fans, I should say, but not that many, really. as there have been in the past for certain things. This is it followed its own story in a way, which I really like. I like when they take things from the comics, but then they give them their own thing. And gosh, I really truly enjoyed it. I left wanting to see it again. I mean, I give it a 10 out of 10, a 100 out of a 100. I mean, it was so, I think it was just absolutely perfect how everything was wrapped up. And I can't wait to see what Marvel has in store for the future. Of course, I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home. But yeah, and just being at the premiere was amazing. If you guys didn't see, I have a couple of videos here from being at the after party, which was pretty amazing. I met Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, which was one of the highlights of my night. They were amazing. Karen Gillan, I showed her my tattoo and she was like, what? So I got this really cool picture of me and her with her pointing to my tattoo like, what? It's Nebula. And she was so sweet and everyone was so nice. Like Liam even took the picture of the group of us with Miley because his arms are long. She's like, oh, give it to the guy with the long arms. And we saw Ming-Na on the carpet. A lot of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was so great. Mac, I was like, I can't wait for May. And he was like, yes, May 10th. And I was like, ah! Henry Simmons is his name, but he plays Mac on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm really looking forward to this season. But I just say, I bring tissues and be ready. Be ready. I don't want to say you get closure. I'm still processing it. I mean, I saw it, 12 hours ago, not even. So I'm processing. But I loved it. I can't wait to go see it again. I will definitely let my kids see it. They're 6 and 7. We'll probably watch it at home, which is what we did with Infinity War, just because with bathroom breaks and stuff. And there also, there's no moment you can stop to take a pee break. Like, sorry, hold it. But like I said, it flew by. It didn't feel like 3 hours. It felt like about 2 hours to me. But there was not a moment where I was like, oh, I have to go. Or I got bored. Just everything was so perfect. Thor was one of my favorite characters. Like I said, watch out for him. You're going to die laughing with him. But just seeing, like I said, the character arcs of these people like Thor and Iron Man and Hulk, and Cap, and Captain Marvel. Oh my God. And there's one moment that you guys have to look for. There's this amazing girl power moment that I was like, this is for my daughters. Like, I cannot wait for them to see this part because it just meant so much. And God, the movie, I'm so sad to see that it's the end of an era, but it was done with perfection. So go see Avengers Endgame in theaters this weekend, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment below. Be sure to follow along with me on Twitter and Instagram. I have a lot of stuff up from the premiere, and I will have more coming in the future. I am at Mama's Geeky over there. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys.